The city of Stevens Point is an idyllic hamlet nestled among the trees and surrounded by miles of farmland in the heart of central Wisconsin. Like other small Midwestern cities, Stevens Point is called home by generously proportioned people of Polish Catholic descent who subsist mainly on a diet of cheese and beer. It's a city proud of its heritage, almost as much as it is proud to be a Wisconsin bird city or a tree city USA. A city of beautiful parks, largely unused as generously proportioned children trade exercise and sunshine for video games and television in a temperature-controlled environment close to the cheese and beer. Stevens Point is a picturesque model of tranquility most people dream of settling into when raising a family. But on the morning of August 13, 2011, that quiet tranquility was shattered forever. Here along a shady green stretch of lawn, a young Ron Paul sign, only a month old, was suddenly, without warning, snatched away, and with it, the innocence of this peaceful community. I just never thought it would happen to me. CK is just a hard-working Packer fan who loves cheese and beer like everyone else in central Wisconsin. But there's something else he loves that isn't so well tolerated in his community: his love of Ron Paul. Well, when I woke up, it was already gone, and I thought I was just out late that night educating people about Ron Paul and had slept over at somebody else's lawn. Honestly, I didn't think too much of it. You know, I was hungover and really tired, so I just ate a block of cheese and went back to bed. But as the hours passed without any word from the Ron Paul sign, CK grew increasingly worried. Well, when I woke up a second time later that afternoon, that's when I started to get a little uneasy. You know, the sign doesn't usually just disappear without at least giving me a phone call to let me know where it is. That's when CK's neighbor broke the horrible news. He told me... I'm sorry. He told me he saw the whole thing. A large truck pulled up, the city of Stevens Point seal on the door of the truck. A man wearing a reflective vest jumped out. That's when I knew it was the city who had kidnapped my sign. I was so scared. Though maintaining a facade of almost fairy tale-like beauty, there is a sinister, criminal underworld lurking in the depths of Stevens Point's darkest crevices. An army of ruthless, brutal bureaucrats armed with fleets of vehicles and innumerable pages of inconsistent and useless regulations. This gang of tyrannical thugs call themselves the City and have spent the past several decades vying for control of this little slice of Tree City paradise. And now, an innocent Ron Paul sign had been caught in the crossfire of their diabolical game for domination. That sign never did anything to anyone. It just stood there quietly, not bothering a soul. CK would do everything within his means to recover his kidnapped sign from the clutches of the bureaucratic overlords. The hunt was on, and after days of investigating, CK uncovered some disturbing things. I was shocked to learn that it's not part of my yard at all, but that the city gangsters claim it as their turf. We're forced to maintain it, but yet we're not allowed to put a sign there. But there are signs in this area. Real estate signs, rummage sale signs, traffic signs, and many others. But those signs are exempted from the Uniform Sign Code. The sign code has nothing to do with public safety and everything to do with the subjective aesthetic tastes of the overlords. They're basically saying to my sign, hey, you're just too big and fat and ugly to be a part of our city. As though it infringes on the beauty of the city. You know what infringes on the beauty of the city? Half the population. It's a good thing we don't have a uniform people code. An arbitrary rule imposed on the people by their oppressors, giving the gangsters the justification they need to seize whatever signs they feel to be unacceptable. Yet on day 4, a breakthrough. CK tracks the whereabouts of the missing Ron Paul sign to a particularly vicious terrorist organization calling themselves the Streets Department. Now time was of the essence. Each moment that ticked by brought the sign closer to imminent destruction. CK knew he could waste no time. In a daring rescue reminiscent of Jessica Lynch, CK stormed the Street Department's terrorist training camp and extracted his beloved sign. After 4 days and 7 hours in captivity, the Ron Paul sign was free again, just the way Ron Paul would want it to be.
You know, it's just so good to have the sign home again. It was a traumatic experience for both of us, but together, we're going to get through, and we're going to be just fine. This is where it belongs, right here in the yard, teaching people something about Ron Paul.